Hello mates, my name is Risk and welcome to Tiny Bunny. It's been a while since we actually played a visual novel horror game. Now you know, I usually have good choices when it comes to visual novel horror games. And I see this game on itch.io and I was just drawn to it because of the amazing art style of the game. Very creepy, very eerie, and it looks very good. So I'm really eager to give this game a go, but it seems like the game is dealing with sensitive subjects, and yeah, let's go. I'm just gonna play it. So yeah, there was no warnings of the game per se though, so I'm not sure exactly what subjects this game touches on. But it seems to be a very cruel game. The wind clawed at my window all night long. It wandered the fields and howled like a hungry beast. An endless song weaved from all sorts of voices, shrill, gentle, sneery, twined in the air. They were shouting and laughing and arguing about something. Someone was running through snow while casting long shadows that would occasionally creep close to my bed. Our house had a mind of its own, the creaky old mind of building that had been a lot in its days and was seemingly trying to share its wisdom with the inhabitants. Can I save the game? Yep, I can. Yeah, I really like all these custom animations. This is made on the Recipe engine, which, most visual novels are made on, but yeah, it seems like they're putting a lot of custom stuff rather than using default stuff. It's really cool. The lonely house faced the forest, and the dark green thicket gazed back on its hollow eyes, rustling, whistling, swaying back and forth. One could come out and stand on the edge of the forest to reassure themselves there was nobody behind the crooked trees. Fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the wind couldn't possibly do any harm. It's just a play of light and shadow. Just a play. I knew it was just my imagination. I was already 12 after all. Still. Oh! You guys see that? I see a face. I'm sorry, I'm just always excited when I see faces. Man, look at those. This looks really cool. Hey, put away your book. How many times have I told you to not read on the table? It's bad for your health. Look at how slouched you are. Really? I didn't know the Recipe engine can do that. Maybe it's the first game to, actually do that. I don't know. I mean, it's not the first game to do that, but, I didn't protest and put the book about Conan and Barbarian aside. I was stuck on a line I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times anyway. Olya had already finished her breakfast and was munching on some cookies. She was enthusiastically, she almost looked like your typical girl from commercials. By the way, this is a Russian family, I'm pretty sure. I read this is taking place in the Siberian forests. So, pretty sure this is a Russian family. You're not going anywhere until you finish all of it. I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole in the plate with my eyes, as if it would make the fridge disappear. Hazy anxiousness welled up inside, all because of the previous sleepless nights, the black forest around our house, and the gloomy wind. The longer I waited, the colder the lumpy white substance became. It looked like a jellyfish from the Kutsi Odyssey. I love that show. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is. Oh god, don't even talk about that, please. Or how cold the Black Forest is at night. The spoon fell out of my hand. Mama showered me with a cold glare from her green eyes. What did I just say? I'll get it. I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty purge once again. I felt around for the spoon. What is this? Carved on the other side of the table? Oh, that's in Russian. I don't know Russian. Karina. Huh. That's my mom's name. I guess she carved it out with something pointy when she was little. She sure was a rascal, damaging the furniture like that. She would scold me for a week if I did something similar, though. Should I remind her about it? Nah. She's been in a bit of a bad mood lately. I imagine her being my age, sitting under this table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark back then? Or the sounds coming from the attic? Or the thick forest? I'm sure she did. I imagine my grandma coming into my little mom's room, sitting at the edge of her bed, where Olya sleeps nowadays, and saying this is her soft, smooth voice. Taiga is a special place, little girl. It's watching you closely, snuffing you out. Oh, that's just... like, if I knew a place was watching me, I was a bit creeped out. Trying to discern what kind of beast you are. If you're a good sort, it won't abandon you in times of trouble. But if you're a bad apple, it'll grab you by the side and drag you onto the ground. Oh God. Yeah, I would be traumatized if I've heard that as a child. And that would be it. Grandma was caring. She never fought with anybody. Never yelled, never swore. Those were the times without the maddening screams until late at night, without smashed dishes and mutual accusations. Our parents used to love each other back then. I remember listening to one of their conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for her own funeral. She had already bought a casket, and she called it her cute funeral box. There's something cute about it. It waited for its time in the closet patiently. It was black, upholstered with meat-colored material on the inside. I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. The house didn't change since the time she was alive. Only all of the photos were gone. Glass-covered pictures with gray faces of my ancestors. They all had a dead but watchful look in their eyes. All that descriptions just make me feel like they're just a part of this place looking at you, you know? By the way, I really like how the game has so much art. Makes it feel like we're not just reading text, but we're actually within a story, you know? Really nice. I can scroll back, can I? Backlog. I waited for its time on the closet patiently. Oh no, I crawled out from under the table. Olya was done with her cookies, and she was looking at my chair like a sly little woodland creature. I turned my gaze towards the frosted window. Hey, I mean, if she really wants the cookie, give it to her. Look at her face. She really, really wants that cookie. Besides, I'm sure you can skip one cookie. There were a lot of dark pines outside, but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of frost formed a picture on the glass. Looks like a raccoon, doesn't it? I mean, clear as day to me. Oh yeah, look, it's a fox. Yeah, it's a fox. Clear as day to me, like I said. Where? It looked almost like the optical illusion thingies they put back in the student notebooks. A mixture of lines at the first glance, but if you blur your vision a little bit and look under a certain angle... Nope, just head forward, look like a fox. Not outside, on the window. Oh, here's the nose. And here's... Hey, eat up. Yes, just a moment. I'm sure she doesn't even see a fox. She just sees a bunch of cookies on the window. God damn it, Olya. I don't see anything. I only see cookies. Hurry up, we don't have much time. There it is, but it still doesn't look like one. And I'm telling you, he does. Nuh-uh. He does. Stop it. These kids, I swear. God damn it. Now, I couldn't see the fox either. It disappeared. Went away. Well, that's because somebody deleted it. It's not there anymore. Only the frosty pattern, similar to stretched out nettle leaves, kept creeping on the glass. My dad entered the kitchen with long, measured steps. I want to have a beard like his when I grow up. Mom would always ask jokingly, come on, shave it off. It stings. It was so long ago. Nowadays, rambling doors and witty comebacks were an everyday occurrence. Olya always covers her ears whenever she hears something like, "What's the point of all this?" through the wall. It's all for the sake. It's all for your sake, Dad would reply. For the sake of our family. I was always caught every sound in fear of hearing the most dreaded, the deadliest word that started with D. Devo. I don't even want to finish it. It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister could be torn apart and taken into different families. Anyway, your fox is nothing. I have an owl on my window. Well, that's cool. You and your owl talk again. You said you believed me just yesterday. Have anybody seen my car keys? I remember leaving them on the windowsill. Right. Maybe you did, and maybe not. You're a grown man, a father of two, and still cannot find the car keys. God damn it, Mom, not this again. Karina, please stop. Just let me get ready in peace. Yeah, get off him. It's literally the morning. Get off him. Your keys are in the basket, along with the phone. Well, thank you very much. Anton, stop making a murdery out of yourself and finish eating already. And the owl? There was no owl. But there was one. It had giant glowing eyes. Olya sprung up from the chair and placed her hands on her little face, imitating a pair of eyes, the size of an apple each, with her fingers. Last year, you had Babai in your closet, and now this owl? But I saw it. Olya shifted her gaze back and forth from Dad to Mom to me, but couldn't find any support. Yeah, if it was a fox, you would have gotten a little bit of support. Have you thought about befriending it? You know, like feeding it like imaginary mice? Don't bully our girl, the husband. She's just afraid to sleep alone because she's still little. Jesus, we're just talking about an owl. I don't see the point. Why can't you just play along a little bit? The staircase that led to the second floor creaked. Mom gave Dad a strict look. Karina, I don't like when you give these looks. And that look in her eyes, it's so uncomfortable to be pinned under it. It's piercing, it's literally piercing. Dad just sorted a reply and left, ringing with the keys he just found. A minute has passed, and the theme song from The Little Mermaid echoed through the house. Yeah, The Little Mermaid, she probably just, Olya probably just plays it to keep calm or something, I don't know. It was stored and incredibly worn out cassette tape, which Dad already had to glue together once. It's so easy to fix objects by gluing them back together, for example. But how do you fix a relationship? A lot of glue. No, I'm just kidding. Mom moved to the living room and I was alone, anxiously stealing glances at the window. I swear to God, if there's an owl there right now. Olya had trouble sleeping ever since we moved to this house. She wouldn't toss and turn or curl up into a ball under the... Oh, she would. Not wouldn't. She would do all those. Sometimes she would jump up in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. Cartoons helped her to take her mind off all the troubles we had with the move and our parents. And then Olya said she saw that giant flying monster outside her window. Looked like an owl, actually, if you look at it closely. She became obsessed with it. Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of those ridiculous fears. Olya refused to sleep alone and didn't believe that the owl was just one of her nightmares. After tonight, I was unsure what to make of my sister's words, what to think of it myself. Can nightmares be infectious? Just last night, I couldn't get a wink of sleep and ended up thinking of what to expect in my new school. There were a couple of days left before the beginning of a new term. My imagination drew long twisting hallways that led to a classroom full of kids. But all the students behind their desks were simply dark figures cut out using a template. Circular holes gaped in the middle of their faces, and a pair of eyes blinked inside those holes. It was as if someone completely different creatures were looking at me from behind the flat black silhouettes. Their cruel glares, filled with icy sneers, made me shiver from head to toe. Will I survive here? Won't they gang up on me and beat me down? Stomp me with their bloodied shoes? The damn school can burn for all I care. I just wish for anything to happen to it. Doesn't really matter what. I didn't want to go there that much. I didn't want to see people who are just itching to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of a new offensive name for me, worse than the previous one. I felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider of some sort, or some sort of a monster. My gaze slid across the drawings hanging on the wall. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but Olya begged me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. The small circle of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings, and they promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine Mom picking up the phone and saying in a cold voice, "You've got the wrong number," or "Antoine is not around." Antoine is not around. I imagine my future classmates lying in their beds just like me, listening to the howls of invisible werewolves outside the windows. Maybe my new classmates will like me after all, but who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? I mean, my dad used to wear glasses when he was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on planet, my mom. The house creaked, pressured by the wind. The condo we used to live in, a 9-floor concrete building, buzzed with the neighbor's drill, mumbled with a TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from a big family next door. Our current house, though I can't really call it new, was completely different. Sorry, I was just saving real quick. It was silent and easygoing during the day. Its shadows lay dormant in the corners, on the closet cobwebs and under the stairs. But they all woke up during the night. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if the old photos of my disappeared, diseased family, with their ashen eyes, were hanging on the walls in places of my drawings. The floor was squeaking, rusty drains were moaning, the attic was occupied by noisy drafts. One could think the house was performing some sort of a demonic melody, and then I realized I was, in fact, hearing music. It was already playing for a good while. Somewhere at the edge of my perception, I could hear a flute. It was mixed in with the sound of wind, of the creaking old house, and my thoughts too. I stood up and rushed to the window. I wanted to reassure myself that this music was nothing more than a product of my imaginations. It's not like someone is playing it there amidst the cold, snowy night, right? Oh, someone was dancing in the field. Black silhouettes I could barely make out, with the dark forest as their backdrop. They jumped around, basking in moonlight, bumped into piles of snow, rolled around and crawled on all fours. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to mind, but these were clearly not wolves. They stood upright at times, circled around, holding hands and whipping up snow, disappearing into the shadows for a brief moment and then came back. Something bizarre was going on. Shadows dancing in the starless abyss made my imagination go wild, making me anxious at the same time. Suddenly, the music has stopped. The dancing shadows froze in place, and I could swear, pierced me with their eyes. One of the silhouettes immediately parted from the bizarre shadow carnival and sprinted across the field with giant leaps. Oh, fuck off! Fuck right off with this shit. It glided on squeaky snow without leaving any prints until it was devoured by the pitch-dark shadow of my house, which became even darker and thicker. My heart was jumping around like the bird inside a cage. I shut the curtains with a swift motion and stepped back towards the bed. They saw me! A freezing torrent of fear washed over me. I stood in the middle of a perfectly dark room and listened to some unwanted guests move and scrape around, looking for an entrance. The sound moved to the right, then circled around the house. Now my guests should be at the front door. I jumped into bed and covered myself with a blanket as if it could protect me. The shackles of fear locked my muscles. I remembered the funeral, my grandma laying there, hands crossed on her chest, her facial features sharp like that of a tin doll, ants running up and down my legs of chairs that held my grandma's casket. I imagined those little creatures climbing up onto her head and pulling up her eyelids with their tiny legs. Then her wrinkly eyeballs would once again move inside their sockets and she'd be able to see her grandchildren. I was chanting the spell she taught me throughout the whole procedure, and now, lying under the blanket and listening to squeaks and howls, I was repeating the same words. On the islands of Buyan, underneath the bulmished sun, in the sea of color blue, stands a cabin made of wood. There lay lard and ashen hair for the spawn from the devil, devil's lair, to feast and always leave alone, God's faithful servant named Anton. Evil leaves this house must. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Bizarre sounds had disappeared. I cautiously peeked out from under the blanket and saw curtains waving around like a hanged man. And then the night dosed me with a new portion of boiling terror. The sound scratched at my eardrums. In reality, something or someone was scratching at my door, clawing at the wood, demanding to be let in. The door was shut. Dad had become very cautious recently, so he installed a stud-reed lock. I remember him staring at the forest intently as if he was looking for someone. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I hugged my knees, placing my chin between them, and drilled the door with my eyes. It was so flimsy and weak before the might of darkness. And then the doorknob twitched slightly. Then it turned halfway, once, twice, as if the person who tried to enter had no hands. The doorknob tilted one more and then started clicking violently. My jaw crumpled from fear. My wet fingers clutched my blanket. The door creaked and opened. The wind taunted me, moaning inside the tin drains. Now you'll see. The door was wide open. Darkness withered inside the carnivorous mouth of a doorway to me. It was as if the light itself was calling out to me, flapping to black wings and squeaking with rusty hinges. I was trembling, ensnared by the web of darkness that hung in the corners of my room, waiting for the one who weaved it to come out of the gaping black hole. To me. My abdomen tightened and my chest rose up, ready to exhale a desperate scream. But before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked me, "Tony, you asleep?" There's no way it was her. Why would she just violently flick the freaking handle? Are you kidding me, dude? My sister's pale face pandered from the thick shadows. I almost screamed from relief. "Olya, I'm not sleeping. Did something happen?" Olya frowned and stuck out her lower lip, a clear sign that she was about to cry. "It's there again, staring at me. Shoo her away, Tony, please. I'm so scared." The fear that was tormenting me just a minute ago crawled away and hid somewhere in my stomach. I needed to calm Olya down. "It was just a dream, silly. Don't be scared. Dreams don't bite. No one's going to harm you." Olya sobbed. She was trying her best to believe me, but was I sure myself? I have an idea. Let's go to your room and watch the video, Sleeping Beauty, for example. You like that cartoon, don't you? Why does the Sleeping Beauty have a prince and I have a scaredy bird? That question took me by surprise. Alright, let's watch Cinderella. My thoughts became tangled, fuzzy. What was that? What studied me with its eyes while dancing furiously under the moon? The darkness was clinging to the window, and it couldn't be fooled by Grandma's old chunts. It couldn't be satisfied with a feast of lard and long ashen hair. "Tony, you coming?" "Yes, just a moment." Damn, dude. God damn, these descriptions are really catching me off guard, you know? Like the way they describe the creature looking around, that's like As if an actual wolf is trying to get in. Like, that's such a vivid description. Gee. That's why I didn't want to laugh at Olya and her owl in the morning. Who could be knocking on the door here? In the middle of nowhere? We don't know anyone around here. So persistent. I felt extremely unsettled just from a silly thought that our morning guest could have come from the woods. I could barely hear voices coming from the front door. My mind was urging me to hide in the closet, under the table, behind the curtains, where Olya always hides. Tony, come here. I felt like kettlebells were tied to my feet, but still dragged them towards the hallway. What the hell? A couple of policemen toured me in the doorway. They smelled like frost and worry. My mom always winced and grumbled the moment she saw patrol cars, worse than bandits. At the moment, though, she looked somewhat confused. Hello? Senior officer, who wore a grim expression, nodded. A boy has gone missing yesterday. Her name's Vova. Look at this, please. Have you seen him? The policeman held out a photograph to me. No, of course in the picture he's holding a cat. Come on. There was a ginger boy around my age in elementary school, pictured with a wall carpet as the backdrop. He had a striped cat in his hands and wore a wide smile. No, I haven't. Are you sure? Look closely. Where would I see him? I don't know anybody around here. I barely leave the house. Well, maybe you've seen him from the window. That's right, your windows look straight at the forest, don't they? The window? No, I haven't seen anything. I see. His voice was tired, but his eyes, his stare, long and heavy, was full of suspicion. I squirmed unwittingly under the weight of guilt, which his giant shadow cast over me. The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway and the cracks in the ceiling, which I haven't noticed before for some reason. How do you like your new place, by the way? Getting used to it? Bit by bit, it's just our little daughter misses the city a lot. Misses the city, huh? Have the locals been treating you well? Yes, everything is alright. Thank you. The policeman pierced through me one more time with his gray eyes. My head started spinning. Can I help you somehow? I asked that in a shaky voice to look like a polite boy, and to end this unpleasant conversation sooner. Now that I think about it, you look just like one of my nephews, little fella. He's a witty boy around your age. Wears the same type of goggles. Always engrossed in reading those mystery novels. Told me he wants to enroll into police school when his family visited us this summer. Wanted to help other people, just like me, see? I felt uncomfortable, as if a distant relative, another police officer, stood before me. You know what? Little boys like you should stay at home, steer away from trouble. The times have changed so much. Mom interjected in a cold voice. You don't say. Ah, well then. What a grade are you on, Tony boy? 6th. Have you made any friends here, so far? Not yet. I'll be going to school for the first time after the break. Ah, then I'll leave you my number just in case. Call me if you have any new info. Oh man. The moment when he said the policeman looked at him with a, guilt, is that you saw something and you're not telling me. And the boy did see something. He saw figures dancing through the window, but it seems like it was a dream, but, still feels like he's hiding something, I think. Because he looked at me at a guilt expression. The police were gone along with their shadows, the smell of cheap cologne, and the photo of a smiling boy. His face still stood before my eyes. I thought about what he felt, being all alone right now. There. For some reason, I imagined the forest swaying in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? What would my parents do if I'd go missing? Would they cry and thrash around hysterically? Or would they accuse each other, like they always do, and eventually forget about me? Mom, this Vova, did he go missing in our forest? Seems like it. Poor child. I looked out the window at the road. The police UAZ drove off towards the village. The officer's nephew came to mind while I was splitting off old paint from the windowsill. I remembered all the teenage mystery novels from the Black Kitty series I've read this summer. Your average boys and girl investigated all sorts of mysteries there. They looked for clues, spied on suspicious people, and after a set of amazing adventures, bam, solved any complicated case. They became local celebrities and must have made their parents real proud. I noticed a trail of policemen's footprints that led to the forest, and then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? Maybe I'll find that lost boy, and I'll get my reward. Olya and we'll be so happy. And not only Olya, Mom and Dad too. Maybe they'll even forget about the quarrels for a while. Maybe I'll even save us from the D word. I fantasize about buying Olya a Tamagotchi and getting a cassette player and a bunch of tapes for myself. And a whole box of Kinder Surprises. When was the last time our parents bought us any toys? Last autumn, I think. My dad had lost his job at the time. There's that annoying song about it. I had a little to no idea what was the accountant's job like. They counted the money? Neighbors used to envy us, but nowadays Mom and Dad barely had money to afford sweets, and Dad would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Olya. Sometimes I gave her my share too. Oh, what a good boy, Tony. Anton, what a good fucking boy. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, she was still just a pipsqueak. I couldn't wait to go out, looking for clues. I'm going outside. Yeah, right. You want the police to go around with your photograph next? The forest is so thick. What if the boy got snatched up by wild animals? Or even worse? Even worse echoed through the hall. I won't go far. I'll stay away from the forest. Did you hear what I said? Or should I repeat myself? You'd better pack your school bag or go play with Olya. The sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. It meant that the argument was over and Mom had the last word. She definitely did. Our first decision. I have to save. Right? This has to be the first decision. So we can either go open to the front yard or to the kitchen. So is this playing with Olya? I mean, if I go to the forest. Oh god, I'm like a kid, dude. I'm so curious. But I also want to spend time with Olya, you know? I just don't know which way that's Olya. Maybe here? I think that might be here. No, but what if I tell Olya and then she'll come with me? Oh, I don't know about this. Anton? I'll whip you if you make a single step out the door. Okay. So I can't go... Okay. That takes a bit of pressure off me, because now I feel like I have a set path. Because I really wanted to spend time with Olya, because she's my sister in this game, and I kind of worry for her. And yeah. I guess we go and... Oh, the dark, stuffy closet. I don't know why I thought Olya will be there. You know, I thought it's like a poor house, and maybe there is a, you know, like Harry Potter, like right underneath the staircase a room. I mean, it is a room, but it's a storage room. The dark, stuffy closet. My mom says it smells like mice, but how does she know their smell? Yeah, like, did you, like, pick them up and smell them or something? Like, what's up, Mom? She hates when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself on those freshly sharpened axe. And Olya can't even be lured close to it. She thinks Baba is living there. I tried to help her fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned on a dim lamp, so she could see that there was nothing but cobwebs. Dad's tools or scratched walls. But still didn't believe me. And I like to hide in the closet and listen to Olya count outside. 1, 2, 3. Better hide from me. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she won't need to look for me in the cramped monster's den. Oh, you asshole. So like, so when you played hide and seek, you purposefully hid there? Oh, never mind, Antoine. You're a little shit, you know that? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Still, he's an asshole. Let's go to the kitchen. Alright. Hello, Mom. Oh, I can actually interact with her. It was difficult to lie to Mom, but there was no other way for me to run away from home. Mom, something's wrong with the TV. Oh no, he's lying to her. Oh no. Oh no. Hold on. No. No. I don't want to lie yet. You know why I don't want to lie yet? I want to load back so we can check the fridge. That's all. What's in the freezer? Grandma kept ice cream for me and Olya there, but now I could only see meat bits for the soup and clumped together pelmeni. I grew to hate them already. That's all. That's all I wanted to see, okay? I rest my case now. Oh wait, there's a crossroads. I took a peek at Mom's crossroads. She would get very angry when someone gave her advice. So me and my dad fake knowing the answers and being about to reveal it all the time. I smiled at the fleeting thought. Vertical 9 letters, the name of a Philistine deity that protected them from viper bites and had a nickname, the Lord of Flies. Second letter is E. What's that eye icon over there? Oh, that's cool. So if I click the eye icon, it lets me know which are their points of interest. Okay, cool. Oh, that's cool. I just hover it and there is a sound effect letting me know I hovered over the radio. That's cool. Emercom of Russia has declared the state of emergency due to adverse weather conditions. According to the weather forecast, the colonel is moving towards the region. Expect heavy snowfall, blizzards, and snow drifts on the road. Keep your eyes open and take care of yourself. So I'll be going out there in the storm. Yeah, Antoine, you're not the brightest kid. It was difficult to lie to Mom, but there was no other way for me to run away from home. Mom, something's wrong with the TV. The picture is dim and there are stripes all over the screen. Mom's face became visibly distorted. Ah, you're killing me here. So, have you had enough of shooting those stupid ducks now? Told you the Kinescope will go dim because of your console. Where will we find a TV technician in this hole, huh? Maybe it's just the settings. Please go see for yourself. Strange, it worked fine in the morning. Maybe the snowfall caused it? My mom rubbed her hands clean on her armpon and went to Olya's room. It's time. Let's go. Let's go, Antoine. Let's go. Don't look back. I opened the front gate and went into the field. Carefully, so Mom wouldn't see me from the window. When I crossed half of the distance towards the forest, the snow piles became as high as my knees. I remembered my... Oh, you can hear crows, dude, in the background. That's cool. I remembered my nightly fears. The silhouettes I saw were around here. They were jumping around, holding hands. That hypnotizing music started playing in my head all on its own. In the light of the day, those distant figures felt like a sample dream. The sun turned my nightmares to ashes, but aftertaste was still there, distant ringing in my ears, distorted shadows crawling on the snow alongside me. And a barely audible whisper in my head, blurry and almost kind. Everything was silent. So silent, it felt like the world was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Olya. The time reached its limit, a one-way trip that ended on the forest piney stockade. Something silence was more scary than any scream. Sometimes silence, not something silence. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Olya turned to stone, listening to them. But then always came the ringing silence. Our apartment became numb a couple of days before we departed. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together, almost like all of it was in previous life. When they kissed with Olya present, she always frowned and snorted in a funny way. But one day, it all changed. Something important had left our home, and something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke up, and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. From who, though? From the people who, with dead cold eyes, who sometimes visited us in our previous home? What the fuck are you talking about? The eyes that only saw balls of worms on the black ground and everything. And somewhere far away, a siren was going off, trying to warn us of the coming minions. I shrugged, chasing away my delusions, and look around. Man, these artworks are really cool. Good. I try to say good and cool at the same time. There were only me, this swine field, and the wind that was whipping up icy dust and belts of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. Knobby trees' roots slithered under the snow like fat snakes. Rotten leaves and confurious needles froze into the ice. Oh, guys, that's a... Oh, no. That's a glove right there. Dry, prickly branches intertwined, bringing up comfortable thoughts about fences. Were they protecting the forest? Or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some objects was hanging from one of the pointy branches. I tried to get closer, drowning in snow, and when I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wounded bird among the hungering semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? The senior officer, Tarkov, or Tokov, I forgot his name. Tokov, something like that, looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show called The Streets of Broken Lights. He was also always anxious, with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Will this mitten help me find the lost boy? Vova! I heard a distant shout. Looked like it came from the river. Vova! As if the trees were calling out to someone. Vova resounded closer to me. There was someone standing there, behind the trees, hiding. Vova! I knew someone was looking for the lost boy, but still, there was something unsettling about this figure. Do you guys see the figure? I don't see it. I don't see the figure. I guess he said he's hiding, so maybe he's not visible. Its stillness, how it was bent unnaturally towards the ground. Its blackness. There's no one there, just branches and roots. It's all just my imagination. A nearby bird flapped its wing loudly. Oh. Yeah. Birds running away randomly means something startled them. And I think I just know what startled them. A shadow split from the tree and disappeared from my sight. I looked away for just a moment, but when I turned my gaze back to the same place, it was gone. So it was my imagination, after all. Silence regained for a painfully long time. Do you see something? Why are you looking around like that? Oh, I thought for a moment that's just a tall person, and for a moment, god damn. The trees are now playing tricks on me. My muscles were tightly sprung, my heart was beating somewhere in my throat. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the thicket and I'd sprint, but nothing of the sort happened. I looked at the mitten once more. Run away, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna go ahead and take it. I'm just gonna go in for the kill. We're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it fast. I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch. Take it! Oh, what did it say? A shout rumbled across the field and dissolved into the distance. No echo, no hope for a reply. I stepped towards the bristled trees and tried to calm my mind. It didn't budge. I pulled harder, the branch cracked and a mitten tore off, landing in my hand with a squishy sound. All too heavy, wet. I squeezed it without thinking and something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny string between the mitten and the snow. Steam rose from the snow pile. Was there a hand in the mitten? I froze in place, studying my palms in disgust. Red. The sound of crackling branches invaded the silence. Run, Antoine! Just run! Get out of there! I didn't have to think twice before running away. Run, Antoine! Jesus Christ, dude, this animation. Someone was chasing me from the darkness, breaking pine branches, closing the distance with a giant leap. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thought through my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thicket. I'll be gone forever. But there was no one more voice. Probably one of a reason. It gave me strength. Spurred me on. You can't do it. Don't stop. I heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud my ears went numb. It felt like the sound had come from a pack of hungry beasts rather than a single one. Their nostrils sucked in freezing cold air. They sensed my fear. Two giant wings flapped above my head. An enormous shadow flew over the clearing. A hoot, a wheeze. The roars were coming from all directions now. From the dried up raspberry bush, from twisted pines, from under the windfall. Hurry, run, don't look back! It felt like I was inside a nightmare. The snowy clearing became vicious like quicksand. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from the mushy trap just to be caught in a few ones, even deeper than before. I continued to drown, sinking deeper and deeper with a heavy, desperate push. Was snow ever this sticky? I screamed in horror after realizing this wasn't snow. Someone or something in the snow pile was clutching my pants. I gathered all my strength and rushed forward. The pressure on my leg was gone. My butt slipped out of the hole and my soles were on a hard surface again. I reached a clear path with one jump from there, ran to my house. Its gloomy facade didn't look threatening now. That house was my line of defense from the shadows that flapped their wings and creatures that were hidden under the snow. I tripped over the doorstep, then smashed into the door. In all my hurry, I still managed to notice the claw marks. As if a dog was striking the wood with its paws, demanding to let in so it could escape the cold. I hadn't noticed these marks when I was leaving. The heartbeat in my ears was much louder in my surroundings. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. What if they were already in our front yard and Mom had locked the door? Drawn in fear, I pulled the doorknob and it obediently gave away. You know, this scary-ass house isn't so bad after all. I don't think I'll be going out for a while. I'll be in quarantine, if you don't mind. I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. I'm sorry, dude. I have to save after that. So we had an option to just leave without the staining our hands with blood. I wonder what implications it may have on the story, because this game goes ways. It just kind of goes, multiple paths. I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Porch planks creaked as my pursuers ascended to the stairs. My fingers slipped off the lock and I couldn't click it into place. I gritted my teeth and pulled hard on the iron doorknob, whipping it between the boards. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing on the other side of the pitiful, flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than blankets. Wheezing breath reached into the house and crushed at me in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. Mom peeked out of the kitchen and chastised me with the same frigid voice she always used when talking to Dad. What exactly didn't you understand when I told you to never slam the door? I didn't mean to. I snuck a glance at the door. The smell was gone, and the breath was still. If there was something in the first place, of course. Dude. I have a few things to say, but I think I'll just continue reading and then see if there's cleared. Here, a mere 5 meters away from Mom, my fear was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring. And with it, the last bit of strength I had left in my body too. My legs gave way. I propped myself up against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. Mom's expression had changed immediately. The cold mask of strictness and detachment was gone. Mom looked the same as before all those quarrels. She saw my condition at last, my wet pants plastered with snow. Where have you been? What did I tell you, huh? I told you to stay home. Am I nothing to you too? I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was very little and wanted her to cuddle me. But Mom regained her composure fast and put on her usual face. Her eyes shined like steel. Her voice rang out. Your dad can't find his cigarettes. Be honest, did you snatch them? You were smoking in secret? There was someone chasing me, I thought. I stutter as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled up in my eyes. Mom leaned towards me and sniffed my clothes like a beast, searching for the smell of tobacco. Then she squinted her eyes in suspicion and looked into the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant and she covered her mouth with her hand. Look over there, at the fence. My heart started thumping as if I became prey once again and my pursuers were following me in the field. I could swear that I've heard something scratch at the door, just like in my nightmare. My mom beckoned me with her finger, and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window facing my fear. It's a pack of wolves. I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in snow through the icy winter patterns on the glass. Dogs? Just a small packs of strays with no name and owner, barely reminding of the hungry monsters that live on the edge of the forest. Oh boy, were you scared of them? I think they'd rather be scared of you, Anton. They were chasing me like a bunny. And what if they're rabid? The smile had slowly disappeared from my mom's face. Now she looked at the dogs as if it was her first time seeing them. What if they attack Olya? Mom? I wish your dad could just shoot them all. Mom, look! They're alive! Huh? What? Are they your friend or foe after all? Make up your mind. You're not a little kid already. Mom sighed in annoyance, and I felt so bitter that I bit my lower lip and fixed my gaze on the cobweb-ridden corner. Welp, some detective I am. In reality, I wasn't risking my life among monsters, but rather my pants among a pack of stupid strays. And what for? What use do I have for this? Mitten. Of course. A dark and sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy made a squishy sound in my hands, something like I was clutching it the whole time. That's my trump card as a detective. I hurried to present this clue to my mom. God damn, dude. Look at the dripping. These fucking details, dude. Mom, look, this is Vava's mitten. You don't just show up to your mom with like a bloody mitten and say that. That boy the police was asking about in this morning. It's drenched in blood. I found it hanging on a tree. I can show where. Let's call the police, like the officer told us. Mom, look. Ew. A shadow of doubt slowly crept into my mom's contoured face. As if she was trying to remember something distant, like someone who tries to remember their dream, but the images slip away. Stop it in this moment! Olya will go insane if she hears you. She already has trouble sleeping and whines all the time. And you joke around like this? At the moment, I realized the mitten was actually wet from snow. There was no plan whatsoever. I wanted to sink through the floor from embarrassment. Come here, my boy, who cried wolf. Oh, don't just stand there. Come take your pills. A golden-colored pill, reminiscent of a dead wasp, fell into my palm. I already took one during the breakfast. Don't talk over me. I told you to stay home. And you... Dad would have given you a good whipping for that. Come on, take it. Or it won't be able to sleep at night. And you have school tomorrow. So I had swallowed the bitter medication, drinking it down with the similarly awful water that gave off a taste of chlorine. Maybe it wasn't Vova's mitten. Listen, guys. This is weird, okay? I don't know what to make of it. Because I'm sure if it was actually there, I'm sure the policeman would have noticed, right? Because it's right on the road. I didn't go far. I just went to the forest, instantly found it. Actually, when I made it to the forest, I instantly found it. It's as if someone left it there for me. And, you know, I feel like it's either the same captor who catched Vova. I feel like it's some sort of an entity. And either that or the boy is actually hallucinating. I didn't want to... it's kind of hard to think about that. But now when she gave him a pill, does he have any hallucinations on the regular, I wonder? Like, is the boy suffering from hallucinations and stuff? I don't know. I don't know even what kind of pill she gave him. But now I'm confused. I can't tell if it's actually reality, if we should believe what the boy is seeing. I guess the best way to put it is that I believe the boy when he says he's seen something. But do we believe that what he's seen is real? I think that's the important line we need to make there. Alright, maybe it was Vova's mitten. Maybe it wasn't a mitten at all. Just like the forest monsters. And Olya's owl. Am I going mad? What's happening to me? Oh god, you took pills and now you're feeling weird, I think. Either the pill had an immediate effect or my over-exaggerated brain didn't let the fear inside anymore. Serenity washed over me, bringing yawny indifference along with it. Antoine, you done? See? You can do it when you try. Take off your coat. Are you asleep? No, Mom. I was just thinking. What about, I wonder? It's just something silly. Mom scrutinized me with suspicious eyes, as if she wasn't sure she was looking at her own son and not some doppelganger that came from the forest. Is everything all right? You had the same exact expression when the policeman asked you about the window. I'm all right, Mom. She heaved a deep sigh. Fine. It seemed like the house had changed. The sofa's fabric had become discolored. Fingerprints appeared on the bathroom tiles. The light bulbs also felt different, dimmer and yellower. Even the saliva inside my mouth had a different taste. A melody from Aladdin could be heard from the upper floor. Olya was done rewatching her favorite Little Mermaid episode and switched to other tapes. I slowly changed into my home clothes, stopped before the sink and studied my reflection in the mirror, like I was trying to solve one of those spot the difference puzzles. Then I went upstairs. Jafar and Lago voices died down. I walked past Olya's bedroom and slipped into my own. Alright, I took a little break and now I'm back. Oh, there's things on the wall. The drawings they told him to hang. I've dreamt of becoming an artist since Dad bought me my first comic book. Fly magazines was the coolest. I especially liked the big space related edition with the alien monsters and that funny episode about a Gundam. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I started drawing all kinds of stuff since that day, and I seem to be getting pretty good at it. One of my letters even got published in Fly once. Maybe someday they'll even publish my comic. That's nice. Guys, look at the curtain. I smell cookies. Why? The forest didn't look as sign as green today, and daggle tree branches in the distance and snow fueled between But sometimes I would still catch myself looking at the window in the icy footsteps of my homework. No, but like, what's that? What's that over there? Since when the windows have legs and smell of cookies? Come on, dude. She's right there. What did you say? How strange. I remembered moving this curtain. Okay, sure. I guess I'll open it and get jump scared. One of my drawers was empty. I hid the mitten there. Splash. This simple action drained the last bit of strength from me. Watch out! I sat on the bed. And only then I noticed there was someone behind the curtains. Oh no, detective! What do you think it may be? My tired hand dropped to the sheets. Whether it was due to medication I took or the stress I underwent, the room began to contort, as if the wind was blowing the walls out like a pair of snails. The room's corner bent and unlighted. The only suitable thing in the whole room was the figure between the windowsill and the curtains. A flimsy piece of cloth was stuck in to my hidden visitor, just like a servant of sorts. Olya? Who else would have been standing there? I stopped up and licked my dried up lips. Yeah, Olya. So funny. You're hilarious. Man, you smell of cookies. The silhouette was unmoving. It was enveloped softly by the curtains, as if there was a thick layer of darkness there, not a human being. I reached towards the curtains, but my beat my heart, controlled by medication. The wind sang in the field with a chorus of voices. For a second I wanted to return to the bed, just lie down and watch the same person behind the curtain, knowing full well they were looking back at me. They're looking without blinking, waiting for me to fall asleep. Plastic rings rustled against the holder when I pulled up the curtains. Yeah, got me. Gotcha. I knew it was you from the very beginning. I'll have you know. I'm smart. You're not. That's how it works. Antoine, hey, come on. Stop being an asshole for like 2 seconds. A blindly bright halo lit up above Olya's head with the setting sun as the background. Oh, that's kind of a pretty picture. My sister was shining. When she was just a baby, Dad always used to say she was shining with happiness. Or maybe her skin is too pale and then when she goes around, it just bounces off and blinds people while they're driving cars and then they crash. Was that racist? That would always happiness. I always reported, but Dad, she's not some flashlight. But I brought her to the window one day and the sunlight poured on her smiling face. I felt like I was holding a child vowing from light. I saw everything. Oh, really? Why did you hide? She was just like my mom when she was little, before she put on her mask of tiredness and switched to her calming tone voice. It's nothing, just... Olya ran up to the table, her eyes round, and asked, "You stole something and hid it there?" Look at his face. No, I didn't stole anything. I merely borrowed it from the forest. Are you a thief? What? Don't be stupid. I'm a detective. I didn't steal anything. A clear image came to my mind, that mitten hanging from the tree branch. What if I did steal it after all? From the forest, from the tilted figure, standing behind black trees. Olya could be selfish and stubborn when she wanted. Then show me. Swear that you won't tell me, Mom, okay? Olya wore a plotting smile. Okay, sure, I believe you. Let's say I believe you. I swear on me, Mom. On me mom's heart. An oath she heard in one of the movies about the pioneers we've watched. Don't say things like that. Olya nodded and made a gesture with her hand, locking her mouth with an imaginary key. I was hoping they did animation for that. I would have really loved that. She was filled with curiosity that was splashing in her giant eyes. I opened the drawer and Olya leaned in, holding her breath. It looked like there was not just a simple mitten, but some sort of an exotic critter. Is this someone's mitten? She said that as if she couldn't understand what she saw. A certain boy lost it, and got lost himself. Now you do understand how dangerous it is for kids to wander into the forest, right? He must be really cold out there. Will they find him? They will. The police is going house to house, showing this photo to everybody. Olya traversed the room with a care and pressed her tiny palms on the window. She's actually not doing that. And why are they going to the houses and not the forest? Maybe they're scared of the forest. Maybe there's a reason to be scared from the forest. Are they scared? The question caught me off guard. The police isn't scared of anything. Yeah, right, flashed in my clouded mind. Did they really check every nook and cranny where darkness, cold, and whispers of icy branches dwell? If that's the case, how did they miss the mitten? Or did it appear later? For me. I changed the topic, as if trying to get Olya as far away as possible from that forest thicket. We may get a reward if I go to and find this boy myself. A lot of stuff, like in Field of Wonders. Sounds cool, right? Olya wasn't listening to me. She was piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes, uncharacteristic for her. What if the owl got him? Nonsense, it was probably the bear, or the wolf. The owl wouldn't be fast enough. I mean, nonsense, an owl won't be able to lift a human. But you know what? I was picking my words with utmost care. I forced them out of my exaggerated brain. Stay away from the forest. I think it's... How should I put it? It's cursed or something. Just like in a fairy tale? No. Not like that. More like in that spooky tape Mom and Dad are hiding from us. Dad. Typo. Olya shivered and stole a glance at the window. I saw you running away. Someone was chasing you? No, it's just I was hurrying back home so Mom won't be worried. As I looked at my sister, my heart was tearing apart. She was so fragile. It was so easy to stifle her light. A gust of wind, and her small fire would be gone. You're lucky. Mom won't even let me go outside. I'm like a princess in the tower. Can't go anywhere. That description is kind of true. I'll die from boredom here. Because, I mean, when we talk to the mom, she always talks about Olya. Like, oh, don't you dare let her hear that. And, you know, kind of protecting her. In a way, it's kind of is a fairy tale, you know? You're wrong. No one had ever died of boredom. And you have me and your cartoons, and Mom and Dad will be good to each other soon. You know what? I would wish for my next birthday. I'd wish for Mom and Dad to turn into children so we could go and play together like we used to. Yeah, and if you'd make them as small as bugs, we could place them into a little box. Olya giggled and tugged at my sleeves. Tony, let's go watch Aladdin. I like Aladdin. Let's go watch it. Fatigue won over my desire to be with my little sister. I was washed over by some sort of hideous apathy. I'm too tired. I don't want to. Come on. It's so boring alone and Mom is always busy. We can pick up a cartoon you haven't seen before. I know all of our tapes by heart at this point. Not all of them. You haven't watched Peter Pan. Remember how you fell asleep in the middle of it? And so much happened after that. Let's go. Let's go. Maybe a bit later. Should I tell you how it ends? No, don't spoil it to me. Okay, now she knows how to deal. She knows how to get what she wants. Let's leave that for tomorrow. I won't tell you tomorrow. I know. Let's play hide and seek. Oh, I'm gonna hide under the stairs again. No, Olya. Then draw me a dino. No, I'm too tired of drawing dinos. Olya, please. Draw it, draw it! Will you leave me alone already? I blurted it out without thinking, and then I was immediately taken aback. I'd never screamed at my little sister like that. Olya stared at me in shock. Her lips started trembling, a precursor to tears. Oh no, you're just... Andrew, you're such an idiot. You said yourself she's so fragile. A little wind can blow out her flames. What are you doing screaming at her randomly, idiot? My chest was seething with disgust and embarrassment. What's happening to me? I hurried to prevent Olya from crying. Alright, you win. Let's go watch cartoons for a bit. I don't wanna. Yeah, Anton. Now it's too late, you idiot. I came up to her, put my hand on her soft head. Let's go. Let's go watch Peter Pan. Boo! You fall asleep again. I smiled and lifted her chin. Her eyes were and felt bottomless. I promise I won't. And I'll draw you a full triceptors later. Hooray! Situation saved. Triceptor pups? Well, close enough. Olya rubbed her eyes with a sleeve in her pajamas and a shining smile returned to her face. I'll go ask Mom for condescending milk and bread and your rewind the tape. The bread is fresh, just how you like it. You know what? I'm kind of bothered by this because she looks so innocent and cute, but since this is a horror tale, I'm kind of scared of what's gonna happen because we're seeing all these weird creatures outside, and not to mention the weird dreams and stuff. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know how it's gonna pan out. I may be able to even take like a selfish route where I just let her be on her own and die or something. Because this game, again, has multiple paths. Alright, just be careful not to spill the milk. Or you'll be yelled at again. Wanna bet I won't spill it? The tape is somewhere in the nightstand. Look for it. Olya disappeared into the doorway and I dragged my feet into the neighboring room. Alright. It's a time to watch some Peter Pan. Let's do it. By the way, what cartoon is this? I can't look at it. Cool. What do we have? Oh, a Slinky! Teddy bear? No. Bad teddy bear. How dare you say that to me? Not with this tone, boy! Okay. I'm having a stroke, apparently. Alright. A piggy bank. Olya is saving money for a real puppy because Dad said that taking care of him will take a lot of money. Aww. Alright, where the tape at? Do I just turn it on? The old photon TV was Oh, I see my reflection. That's a bit off. Gathering dust in the corner. All that was left was clicking the button on the front panel. I don't trust the static. The tube warmed up and familiar white noise started dancing at the black screen. I almost reached out to turn on the VCR when the noise calmed down and a blurry image appeared for a moment. What is it? What kind of an image is this? Well, I can totally see it's the forest. It was a dark taiga forest, just like the one outside my window. The picture split the second... Something creepy resembling human speech was coming out of the speaker. Just a few moments later, the scenery was again overshadowed by noise. Did it catch some rogue signal? Local TV stations only really showed Soviet cartoons, and even that was pretty rare. And only just recently I used to always watch Robotech before school. It was so awesome. Maybe I should tinker with the antenna. What if I could catch a signal again? On the other hand, Olya had asked me to find the tape. It wouldn't be nice to disappoint her, but in my sleepy state I didn't have the strength to do all of it. Oh, okay, I don't get a chance to... Oh, I do. Okay. See, this is exactly like what I said. I can take like a selfish route. Oh, but I feel the need to protect her, you know? I don't know how exactly I'm protecting her by searching for a tape, but... I want to see what's going on with the TV. The picture finally cleared up. Are these all the people who went missing in the woods? But the moment I rejoiced at finding that weird signal again, the TV started coughing, a voice barely coming through the cacophony. He was often seen at a moment when small snowy hills were lined up in the screen, pierced with rickety crosses, and a male voice was narrating with a slow, mournful voice. It was a pitch-dark night at the cemetery. In that fateful dark time, little Senya met her fate at the face of monstrous thicket dweller. The local call him none other than the Forest Master. I froze and did my best not to move, as if by doing that I could scare away the narrator. I listened closely to his every word. The beast dealt with the helpless girl in a masterful manner. Oh no, dude. Oh, the camera pinned along the snow with something black spilled over it, looking for ragged pieces of cloth that were thrown around all over the place. I didn't want to think whether Senya's remains were wrapped in there, so I shut my eyes without thinking. Yeah, dude, we're not letting our little sister go anywhere near this forest. Oh, there was a hand there. The voice continued. Wolves are rare, I guess, in these parts. Here's what Tamara, the old woman that lives in a nearby crypt, had to say. A close-up shot of a face of an old homeless woman wearing from life and alcohol abuse rattled on the screen. Yes, such a fearsome beastie it is, worse than the rising dead. The old woman splattered saliva all over the rectangular mic. There was a bunny! And the stink is like... The rest of the comparison was swallowed up by the sound of a horn. I've never felt anything like it. It was just standing there. Yes, right where you stand, boyo, and pierced me with its eyes, right in the middle of the day. Was so huge, that one, with glassy eyes. Obscenities were covered by another beep. You know, they say if the demon lays its eyes on you, it'll snatch you. Put you into his bag and you're done. But he won't touch me. Likes me, it seems. So they even call me the Devil's Wrench. And it's definitely true. The carnivorous monster will not touch those who fell to the level of forest beasts, going for the innocent child's blood instead. Okay. That line changes a lot of things. Because now it explains why the officers didn't see the glove in the forest, but I saw it. I saw it bleeding. That explains so much now. Or it could be another one of my hallucinations. Master of the Forest presence is felt more and more on the outskirts of our country. Torn between believing in what was said and shrugging it away, I decided to record the remaining part of the documentary for some reason. I quickly grabbed the tape that was on top of the TV and put it on a VCR without even looking at the corner. I pressed rec, turned it up, and paid attention to the sleeping signal. It's not called the Forest Master for nothing. All of the animals obey it. Be they hairy or feathery, they're all persecutors for its appearance. If you hear howls in the distance, then it most likely already knows where you live. If you find animal parts all over your doorstep and birds watching you from the trees, you'd better hide. It's already coming for you. And if you wake up at night and see a pair of eyes in your window, then soon, Soon. Soon. Oh! The TV shuddered, went mad and moved into the last word over and over, piercing my ears. Turn it off, boy! Did I accidentally record this on the Peter Pan? Oh no, I think I may have recorded this on the Peter Pan tape. I got goosebumps all over my spine. The tape ended and it was rewinding to the beginning. The sound of rustling tape reminded me of leaves in the wind and the low howl of the beast. I woke up from my stupor and pressed the button. The VCR ejected the tape. For a moment I thought it was stained with saliva, but that was just the light from the calendar chandelier making the black plastic glossy. And then I saw the cover. Oops, I recorded it over Peter Pan. Fuck, I knew it, dude! What are we gonna say to Olya now? Antian, you stupid wise guy. Why would you even want to record that? To have evidence? That's what I get for hurrying. It was bad enough that I ruined Olya's cartoon, but I also put this creepy stuff over it. I can't let her see this. We'll drown in tears. I snuck a glance at the door. I could hear the clatter of glass and the squeaky floorboards. Oh no! Olya appeared in the doorway. You haven't started without me, have you? My sister brought a tray with unveiling cut bread and a whole can of condensed milk. No. I was looking for the tape. Do you really want to watch Peter Pan? I do! Oh no, turn it on already. Mom will come watch her Brazilian drama soon. Come on, think, fake detective. You know, I didn't like Peter Pan. Maybe we should watch Little Mermaid instead. I've already seen it many times. And you promised me. She's so stubborn, god damn. I know, let's watch a couple of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episodes first. Deal? Olya frowned, but ultimately gave up. She put down the tray and crossed her hands on her chest. If you wanted so much... Oh, she was a very she really wants me to see Peter Pan because she knows I didn't watch the ending. And that's why she's sad. Can you open the milk can? I'm afraid I'll cut myself with the sharp edges. As soon as I stood up, colorful dots popped up on before my eyes, and my sore legs were pierced by thousands of needles. Only when I reached the sofa, I realized that the can was already open. Olya had tricked me, played me for... Get destroyed, Anton, you idiot. Idiot! My stomach became heavy. I wanted to rush over towards the TV, but my little sister was faster. Is she gonna watch the tape? No, I took the tape. Never mind, I took the tape out of there. She picked up the remote and proclaimed in a victorious tone, "Gotcha! Gotcha! Gotcha!" As soon as the remote master, I commanded to watch Peter Pan. She really, really, really wants me to watch Peter Pan. They were not kidding when she said she was stubborn. Oh, she found the tape. I couldn't even open my mouth and the VCR had already eaten the accursed tape. She'll play it. I don't think there is anything on it though. I think it will just be empty. Black crosses and unnamed graves, empty crypts, blood scrapes in the snow and the insane devil's wrench. I'd better tell the truth. Oh yeah, stop. I erased the end of your tape by accident. I'll trade it with you for 2 of mine. What do you mean? You couldn't erase it. Me and Dad had broken off all those plastic pins with a screwdriver. You can't record anything over my cartoons now. My little sister pressed the triangular play button on the remote. Thank God. I don't know if I found the tape, if I could see, because I feel like we just saw something that we wouldn't see if we wouldn't take the risk. Because now we feel like we haven't been like punished for this thing, you know? But we actually got more information about what we're dealing with. This said forest master. I think I did the right thing. Good job, me. I squid on the inside, awaiting the out of this world voice of the narrator. But I saw a duel between Peter Pan and Captain Hook instead. Yeah, you show him, Captain. I mean, Peter. I know Peter Pan is the good guy. I sighed in relief. I would too. I'm sighing in relief right now in my own head. My head, heavy as a leaden ball, now rests in my hands. Ah. Olya smiled in joy. She put the tape on rewind and started spreading milk over her bread, and when the curtain started, she forgot about everything in the world. As if she really got transported to the Neverland, like she always wished. To be honest, I always imagined myself there, in a land where no one never ages, where no one argues over little things, where no one listens to fights and the sound of broken plates at night. But now Peter Pan's land was especially far away from me. My thoughts dragged on, stumbled upon the horned beasts that await me among the trees, and the narrator's mournful voice haunted me, sliding over bushes and ravines. Like a winged carnivore would track its prey, it felt like I was dreaming with my eyes still open. Then my sister screamed, pulled me back to reality. Tony, shut the curtains, fast. Why is she crying? Why? No one's watching you. It's dark, and when it's dark, the owl comes. I'm scared. I got out of bed, fighting in my drowsiness, and closed the curtains. I did my best to not look outside, towards the footsteps, towards taiga forest, which seemingly drew closer and closer. Of course, it was just a visual effect from the shadows of branches scraping the snow. By the way, the light changes, the light that reflects on the curtains. That's really cool. When the scene changes, that's really, really cool that they actually pay attention to details like that. Tony, Mom thinks I made up the owl. And Dad too thinks I'm a liar since I'm small. Hey, he's just racist. He's just being an asshole towards small people. That's what he is. But the owl exists. Honestly, it does. You do believe me, right? That it comes every night. And I swiftly grabbed Olya's hand and looked her in the eyes. I was trying to transfer at least some of my courage and determinations. But did I really have those qualities? Yes, I believe you, right? Just don't nag our parents about it anymore. They're already dealing with a lot, so they'll just get mad at you. Come and tell me if anything happens. And don't look out the window. But it wants me to look. Doesn't matter. Act like it doesn't exist and never existed. Like it's made up. Just like Mom and Dad say. It'll get tired of waiting and fly away. It was madness, but after everything that happened recently, I was more and more inclined to believe Olya's owl existed. We followed Peter Pan's adventures as if nothing had happened, as if the forest didn't kidnap kids, as if our parents weren't tearing each other apart bit by bit. Captain Hook was running away from a crocodile, and Captain Pan was headed to London on a glide sailboat. I think I remember this scene. I haven't watched it such a long time ago. By some miracle, I lasted longer than my sister. Olya's eyelids had dropped. She started snorting lightly, resting her chin on the side of the bed. The chorus was singing the ending song. The world of Disney was lit up by a silvery moon. Well, I'm glad she's not awake to watch this. Another moon peeked from under the first one. What the fuck is this description, dude? It's as if like the moon even has a facade. Scary and one, hanging over the taiga forest. The horrific report got recorded right over the credits. So I did record. My throat went dry. My pulse became faster. I looked towards Olya. No, don't wake her up. She's sleeping. She smacked her lips in her sleep. I squeezed the remote with all my might, ready to press stop at any moment. I rewound the recording, checked if it was intact, and then carefully took out the tape. The protective pin was still in place. I stood up and left Olya's room. Whether it was by providence or by curse, I hid the tape alongside the mitten at the exact moment my mom picked it into my room. Enough playing around. It's your first day at school tomorrow. Go to bed. You should sleep properly. You don't want to be teased for being sleepy boy, right? You don't want to be bullied for being a sleepy boy. I'm a sleepy boy. Adults think everything is so simple, don't they? As if sound sleep would ensure my classmates would like me. I covered myself with a blanket up to my neck and listened to the house humming, to something invisible rustling in the corners. My inner voice had a question for me. Do I want to hear that mysterious flute again? Yes or no? Maybe it's just a part of growing up and I can't fully understand my own desires. Last night that we fell asleep, we literally got jumped by a wolf. This time we haven't fell asleep yet, so if we see anything, that may as well be reality. Maybe it's just a part of a growing up and I can't fully understand my own desires. The forest wailed behind the barrier that were my walls. Some ethereal entity wandered the fields. Branches shook as if calling for me. The wind howled on and on in the night. My thoughts were like annoying flies that entered my head before becoming weak and tangled. I didn't notice how I fell into a slumber. Oh my god. Thank you for completing episode 1 of Tiny Bunny. Guys, they're planning to make 5 more episodes. 5! And this was just the first one. Did you enjoy it? Do you want to know what happens next? We're already working hard on the continuation of the story. I mean, I saw all the hard work and like, they're really, really interested in telling a compelling story. Like the writing is great. Like all these descriptions, like it's so good. Like I played a bunch of visual novel games, but this one, like, you know, the way they're describing things, like it's good. You can see it was written by a storyteller, somebody who told many stories, and he's very passionate about telling the story. And also the art in this game is amazing. Like they have some animations and the art, and dude, I'm just blown away by this. I'm really am. This is amazing. I don't think they have a Patreon or anything. I don't see any symbol. I see only Twitter and VK, which is the Russian equivalent of Facebook, I think. You know, like a Russian social media. And that's about it. I don't know what that is though. I'll click that. Hey guys, after I finished recording this video, I looked around a little bit and I found out that the game does have a Patreon page. So right now they only have one supporter. And if you're interested, I left a link to their Patreon page in the description. Feel free to check it out. Oh, dude, in the other episode, we'll have to protect Olya from these demons, dude. Because they are getting closer. The story said that if the creature pierces me and watches me, it will happen soon. Oh, no, dude. Oh, frick no. I feel kind of sad because I know not many YouTubers play visual novel games, so they're just gonna probably skip this one or something. But, it's really good, and I would like to thank my Patreon supporters for supporting my channel. And if you want to also support the channel and do a cool deed, I guess, you can check out my Patreon page. There is a card on the screen, and you should be able to click or tap it and go to and check out my Patreon. Each person that pledges to my Patreon, it really matters, and I'd appreciate it if you check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys in my other videos. Bye bye.